siempre a nuestros colaboradores que siempre están diciendo presentes, que son nuestros auspiciadores, y también a ustedes que están por ahí, escriban, hagan todos sus comentarios. Usted sabe que cuando estamos en la entrevista, como siempre les recordamos, se nos hace un poquito llegar a todos los comentarios de ustedes, pero póngalos por ahí, porque nosotros cuando se acabe la entrevista vamos a poder llegar a esos comentarios. Pero Baerga, lo que tenemos hoy es, ya era como cuando uno le decían, oye, es caviar, lo que viene es caviar para ustedes, Baerga.
Eso es así, eso es así. De verdad que este hombre, los récords que tiene, los equipos que jugó, una leyenda de béisbol y de verdad que impresionante. Palito, bueno, ahorita yo le voy a comentar. Yo vi una línea que yo brinqué en el campo corto cuando jugué campo corto con Cleveland en Grandes Ligas, brinqué y la bola se fue completamente de línea por left center. Así era la fuerza que tenía este hombre.
Señores, un atleta completo, de verdad. También jugó con los Yankees, así que pues un yanquista de ustedes, así que Palillito trae con Baerga otro yanquista para ustedes, para que después no digan que solamente traemos de un bando nada más. Pero nada, si usted no sabe de quién estamos hablando, tenga un like.
By any standard, 1979 was a sensational year for Captain Dave. He hit .308 with 34 homers, 97 runs scored, a league-leading 118 RBIs, which included 16 game winners. Dave Winfield set the Padre pace.
The runners go, 3-2 pitch, and a ground ball hit over third, a base hit down the line. White scores. It's picked up and bobbled by Gant. He dropped the ball in the corner. Alomar scores on a Dave Winfield two-base hit.
Get it down to one name. Here's one. Winfield has hit it deep. Way back. Thurman looks up. It's gone. Dave Winfield belts a two-run homer, and he's having another one of those Winfield nights. 3 hits, 2 runs scored, 3 RBIs, and this RBI is he'll touch the disc.
Uh-oh, that's hit well. And Mac looking up, and gone, number 400.
Well, and here is, I mean, we welcome a superstar, a Hall of Famer, one of the greats in baseball, Dave Winfield, my man. Bienvenido a Me Gustan los Deportes junto a Baerga y sus amigos.
Good evening, fellas. Good to see you. And Carlos, very happy to talk to you, man.
Oh, what an honor we have today. And one of my biggest friends. What a player that I remember when I signed with the San Diego Padres. He already was going from there. But I read the book, the game book they always give us in spring training. When I check the numbers, when I check the first round guys, this was the guy, the main guy with the San Diego Padres. And it was an honor, 12-time All-Star, 7-time Gold Glove, World Series winner, 3,000 hit, Hall of Famer. My brother, Dave Winfield. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. I got my health, I got my family, working, everything is good. And happy to talk to you, Carlos. I'm just going to tell you, man, I played 22 years. I played for 6 teams, both leagues, both coasts, both countries. And there were some ball players that always stood out, the guys who had fun, and you were in my top 3. You had I'm going to tell you, Kirby Puckett, Ricky Henderson, and you, because they had fun but could play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm happy to talk to you today.
Thank you. Dave, where are you born? So I want you to let these people know where you're born and in the United States.
Okay. I'm from Minnesota, St. Paul, Minnesota. I grew up, I watched the Minnesota Twins play. And then I went to a college at the University of Minnesota. So I was there 4 years. And then I went to the Padres, straight to the Padres. No minor leagues.
Wow.
After I was drafted, I went from the College World Series where I was pitching. And all of a sudden they said, we want you to play the outfield. And I went straight to the Padres and I had a lot to learn. I had a lot to learn.
I mean, just hearing that, Dave, the way you're saying, I mean, I was pitching let people know too, MVP of the College World Series too. I mean, we just want to make sure everybody knows that. MVP of that, but I mean, you are pitching. When you were, let's say before you went to college, I mean, what you were doing? You were playing football, you were playing basketball, but you were playing baseball, you were just a pitcher, you play other positions. I mean, because that's a big change for a team just to say, yeah, nah, you're not gonna pitch anymore. I mean, you're gonna hit.
I'll give it to you quick. When I grew up, we played every sport, whatever season, football, basketball, baseball, and it used to be so cold. Like we used to skate too. I didn't play hockey, but I could skate. And through high school, I was a shortstop and a pitcher.
Wow.
And with University of Minnesota, the coach said, we only want you to pitch. So can you imagine 3 years I did not play except pitch. In my last year, after playing in Alaska, they had a summer league, and we were the best in the country. I said, come on, man, look at my stats. I can play. He said, all right, I'll let you play. So I only got to hit 1 year in college, and I was killing them. And then I was killing them. And when I was drafted, I said, what do you want me to do? They said, we want you to play every day. So you see, I had a lot of catching up to do because I was facing pitchers. I had never seen stuff like that. Don Sutton curveball, Steve Carlton slider at your back foot. Who was still playing? Bob Gibson.
Yes.
Yeah.
Tom Seaver.
Yes.
And you're facing this guy with wood bat now.
What's that? I'm sorry.
You were using wooden bats by now.
Oh yeah. We used wood bats though, but it was just I had a lot to learn. So I would come early, stay late, keep my mouth shut, work hard, and every year I would try to learn something new. And Carlos, you know that I played many years, so every year for the first 10 years, I played 22, but the first 10 years, I always added something. I used to be too close to home plate. I backed off. I used to have my hands in a different position.
Yes.
And I got them further back and I got my little rhythm.
Yeah.
And then the guy who taught George Brett, his name was Charlie Lau. He taught me how to cock that leg back like that.
Okay.
And like Juan Gonzalez, he would cock that leg.
Yes.
And so you for 10 years I learned that. Then after that, I didn't need a coach. I just knew what to do.
Wow. You see, always in life you need somebody to help you out. That's what he got. But I want to go back a little bit. They draft you as a football player, basketball player, and baseball player.
Yeah.
There's not too many athletes they can do that. And you was one of those kind of players. I want to let you know the names: George Carter, Jojo White, Noah Jenkins, Mickey McCarthy, Dave Logan, and Dave Winfield. They's right in front of us today. To be drafted from those three sports. That's amazing.
Yeah, that was a big deal. But
just to
excuse me, someone's at our front door, but they'll get it.
Don't worry, we're live, we're having fun.
No, it was a big thing, but you don't have the same media as you have now, social media, 24-hour news cycles. So people didn't hear about it that much, but it was an important thing. I knew I was going to be drafted in baseball, but the Minnesota Vikings saw me play basketball at the University of Minnesota. You could run and jump and snatch rebounds and and they said he could be a tight end. Let's draft him. And I appreciated it, but I did what I wanted to do since I was maybe 12 years old, professional baseball player.
Wow.
Man, and you get that. And you get that chance to do it, to go straight to the big leagues. At least you went to college. You get to mature a lot in college compared to just going from high school and all that. But we seen all the guys that didn't play in the minor leagues, and their transition wasn't that good. But yours was amazing. And I really thought that you went to college and you were one of the best hitters of the team, or maybe the best hitter in the team, plus the pitcher. And maybe okay, fine. But now you say you didn't get to hit that much, and to be able to just jump in the big league, Carlos, with 21 years old, with all these guys in the big league. Not the big league we're talking right now, Dave, because I know you watch some games now, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that right now you could bring young kids easier than what it was back then. all of a sudden you go to the Padres. One of the guys that was my manager in the minor league, Nate Colbert. You got to play with Nate Colbert.
Yes.
And I know that guy was rough. He was rough with us. So I can't imagine when he saw a rookie. Hey, buddy, let's go. You want to learn the game? Let's go. How was
Exactly.
first year?
Nate was my first hitting coach in Gable.
Oh,
was he?
My first hitting coach in Gable.
Was
Nate,
he?
awesome guy. Awesome.
Well, how about this? Cito Gaston, who was the manager of Toronto, the Blue Jays. He was on the Padres, and we were roommates for a year. How about that? He was older than me, and he traded to Atlanta later on, but we were roommates. And then I don't know, 18, 20 years later, I'm playing for him for the Toronto Blue Jays.
That's amazing.
How about that?
Are you 40 years old?
Yeah, man. But I appreciate him more than any manager. I'm just going to tell you this quick thing.
Yes,
I left. It was the Angels. Went to Toronto. I said, Cito, look, man, the guy started DHing me, and I can still play some. I said, if we want to go to the playoffs of the World Series, let me play on the field sometime in case when we get to the World Series. And he looked at me, but he let me. I played 156 games and 27 in the outfield. So when it was time for playoffs and the World Series, I was ready.
You was ready. He was a player manager, and that's why I always love him.
Yes.
I heard, Robbie, Candy Maldonado, Devo talk to him about him. Very special guy. I want to tell you something, because you was a great pitcher in college, and then you came up as a base, as an outfielder, and you was a great hitter too, great fielder. You got everything in there, but they never went through your mind to come back and pitch, or ask them to let you pitch. Because right now, we got Ohtani in the Angels, and this guy's a great hitter. Hit the ball like you very hard, but he throw hard too.
Yeah, he reminds me of me. Really, except he's left-handed. Really, I mean, to pitch and to hit. Once I got there, I knew that I wanted to mop up a couple of games, and they said, no, you might get hurt. So when I finished playing, I don't say it's a regret, but I wish I had a picture of me pitching. Bringing it, just
come on, Dave. I mean, somebody should have let you do at least spring training or something, man. Come on.
They didn't let me do it. Man. That would have been fun, though.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, everybody's doing it now. Pretty much almost every night you see somebody getting as a position player, getting up there. But it's amazing. I'm still in awe to know that most of the thing that you did in college was pitching. I mean, I'm still a little awe on that, because the kind of hitter that you were. But when you start getting in the big leagues and you're already a few years into it, I mean, your height was it trouble for you on the batter's box? Did it took you a little while? Because I see Aaron Judge still struggling, like with his strike zone and all that stuff. I mean, and you are kind of that guy too. I mean, you were a very tall guy. I mean, did it took you a while to get used to your stance and your body in the batter's box?
The answer is yes. One of the best agents out there in baseball, he told me later on, he said, I didn't think you would have the success you had because you're so tall. Normally tall people don't really succeed. He said, but you hit for average, you hit for power, you drove in runs. And I just, when you see my stance, I just kind of learned to get off of the plate, get my arms extended. And if you're off of the plate, you can see the ball a little longer. You can wait a little longer. And I just wanted them to throw to the plate instead of getting on top and trying to, impose your will on somebody. I just backed off the plate, and the pitcher would see, oh, I got a lot of big strike zone, and I would just extend and hit that line. I was all about hitting line drives, though. Now they try to teach people launch angle.
Did you like that idea? Did you like that idea, the launch angle? Let me know right now. Let me know.
No. They would say, Carlos, they would tell me today, Winfield, we got to change your swing because you don't have enough of an uppercut.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
they would say launch angle. I mean, I'd be launching balls. I wanted to hit the ball hard, but I wanted to hit a line drive because that's when you get hits.
Yes.
That's when you get hits. And guys today, they home run or strikeout. But if you have speed.
Hey, I got surprised when I watched your numbers today. I call Palillito. I call him today. I say, hey, Palillito, he strike out more than 100 times twice. It was 109. That's it. I say, wow, that's amazing for a big guy. A guy that he homers just twice over 100. And right now, I see guys 170, 180, 190, and everybody going, great job. Hitting 235, 234, and I see you hitting 300. I see you, wow. What's going on?
Yeah, that's bad. You know, fortunately, when I came to the big league, in this order, I wanted to be an RBI guy first because they're important. Yes. And if you can drive in runs under pressure, they're going to keep you. And number 2 was hit for average because if you're consistent, they can't get rid of you.
Yes,
it was kind of protecting myself. And the last thing was home runs. I would get the home runs when they came. So I was looking for RBIs first, average second, home runs third.
Awesome. I mean, and Dave, hearing you saying that, now it's easy to understand that you, let's say, for example, didn't get 500 home runs. You didn't get it because, of course, you weren't thinking about home runs. I mean, in this new baseball, of course, Winfield could hit 700 home runs because all he has to do is just swing up, try to find it. Just if you strike out, you strike out. But I mean, now people see 465, Dave, and they're like, "Oh, he didn't even hit 500 home runs." I said, "Man, I mean, look at the stats. Go by the stats." And Dave, I mean, I don't know if you think the same way, but I was telling Baerga today. I say, you know what? If Reggie Jackson, for example, would have played in this era, he probably wouldn't even make it to the Hall of Fame because of his numbers were like 500 some home run. Anybody could hit that. I mean, no, but he didn't strike out enough, I guess. No way. They would have found a way to mess you guys up with the era and all that. And I want you to tell people that are watching this, because we keep telling them, I mean, I do think that the greatest players, and you're one of them, could play any era because you guys could adjust. I think Michael Jordan could play against LeBron James if he had the same diet, same people around that he could work and train the same way. Technology, Michael didn't have that. So I feel the same way with you. If they put Dave Winfield now in this baseball, I mean, I'm pretty sure you would have adapt and you would be great. Or who knows if you could probably do more numbers.
Yeah, you know, when you say that, what was in my mind, I had 5 tools. I tell people this: if you have 5 tools, that is hit for average, hit for power, run, field, and throw. I could do all of them. So I never put one on the shelf and said, "Oh, I'm not going to play good defense this year." You know, I always wanted to be. I may not have been the best at any one of them, except if you try to run on me, I'm going to throw you out. You know, I got something for you. But I may not have been the best at any one of them, but I was good at all of them. And I tell these young kids, the parents bring their kids over to me, "Mr. Winfield, my son, he's a great hitter. He's a great hitter. He's a great hitter." You know, I said, "Okay, let me see in your bag. Let me see your glove." And they pull out the glove and it's dry, dusty, cracked, broken. I said, "He's not a ball player. He's not a ball player.
That's good.
Don't talk to me about just
I
hitting."
want to be a complete player. And that's
looks like a pancake.
That's what you need to do. You want to be a complete player. That's good. Hey, we're talking about a guy that wins 7 Gold Gloves, my friend. 7 Gold Gloves.
And they cheated me for 2 of them.
And he got a cannon.
There you go. There you go.
He got a cannon too. Hey, Dave, you can talk to us about your first All-Star game.
Okay.
Your first All-Star game. That when they call you to go to the All-Star game, what went through your mind? What happened to you?
The quick thing is, it was in my 1977. So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It was in my 5th year.
Yes.
Every year I got a little better, and I would always try to match myself up with someone on other teams. I wanted to be an RBI guy like Tony Perez. I wanted to be scary at home plate like Willie Stargell or Willie McCovey.
Okay.
I wanted to, just be one of the best players in the game. In San Diego, it was hard because we didn't have a good team.
Okay.
We would never be over 500, so I really had to go individually for it. So anyway, my first one, we went to New York. So I played at Yankee Stadium, got a couple hits, drove in a run, scored a run, and we had a throwing contest. You'll find this, you'll hear about this somewhere. Ask Andre Dawson or Dave Parker or Reggie Smith.
Wow.
We were in right field. When they used to take infield before the game.
Oh man, I love that.
We were showing off our arms. We started shallow and we kept going deeper. Not like start deep and come closer. And we were throwing that ball, and the people were, ooh, oh. And but I remember being in the locker room with all the best players in the game. And even they had old coaches like Joe DiMaggio was there, Willie Mays. When you're among the best people, I said, I want to come back. Wow. So every year I wanted to go back to the All-Star game. So I did it 12 years in a row. Wow. And then I got hurt one year and missed it.
Wow. I remember this one. I remember this one when this happened. I'm pretty sure Harold Reynolds sees this. He's going to be like, oh, I'm there because he's everywhere. Harold is everywhere. But I remember this play at home play. I mean, it was a great play by Bedrosian, the pitcher, the way he was able to get this. But, I mean, right now, they probably would throw you out of the game or something.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he hit the catch.
But, Baerga, that's Osiville Hill,
Osiville Hill.
Rico.
Okay. Yeah. John McNamara. That's John McNamara right there.
So, but I remember this one, Dave. I mean, because he always, as soon as that happened in '87, he brought back memories of Pete Rose with Ray Fosse there in Cincinnati in that All-Star game.
Yes.
But I mean, I always tell people, no, Dave, they took it easy. I mean, he can't stop right away, but they could have probably run over Ozzy better than that.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah. My friend, now in 81, after you played the All-Star game, 81, 1979, that was, a big year for you. 308, 34, 118 RBIs. It was an unbelievable year. But then in 81, you got traded and you became the highest paid player on the game. You signed a free agent with the Yankees, the New York Yankees. Tell us about that move that you're making there.
I put off free agent back in 1977. So I didn't play. I didn't go as a free agent, but it was time to leave San Diego. I go to New York. George Steinbrenner was the owner. We had conflict. That was the year we had to strike. The players, there was a strike. We're for, 1/3 of the season. So there were two separate seasons, before the All-Star game and then after the All-Star game. And so there was a lot going on that year. Even being the top player in the game, they said, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to stick together with all the other guys, and we're not going to play baseball until they do the right thing for the players. And then, I just went on to have a good year. It was, we lost in the World Series. I didn't have a great World Series, but it wasn't because, sometimes it just happens. I was ready. I was excited. And I only got a couple of other chances, once in Toronto 10 years later or something. And then the last year we went in Cleveland, but I got hurt that year. So as far as World Series, won one, lost one, and was hurt for one. But it was a new era for me coming from San Diego, where we lost a lot, to playing in New York. We won more games than any other team during the 80s.
Okay. I mean, I need to ask you this, just because I'm a freak about baseball. I mean, you got to play with Don Zimmer in San Diego. That is, it used to be a character. I mean, that guy was just a character.
Who is that?
Then you got to play with Don Zimmer in San Diego, don't you? As a manager.
Oh, yeah. He was my first one. Very
All
first.
right. And then you got Billy Martin in New York.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you had to go from that. That's really saying for like from the ground to the sky. I mean, how different those two guys were. I mean, how was it for you dealing with these two guys? I mean, when you first met them and dealt with them. I mean, because we know Billy was Billy.
Well, listen, I have to look again, but I think I had 19 different managers.
Wow.
In my career.
Wow.
San Diego, we had everybody. Zimmer was okay with me because he saw my talent as a young kid, and he said, I don't want you to be overwhelmed. I'll play you sometime, but he liked me. Don Zimmer was good. John McNamara came. Yeah. He let me play. He was the first one to let me play every day. But we had, how about this? His name was Coleman, Jerry Coleman. Jerry Coleman was the broadcaster for 20 years. Yeah. And they said, we're going to get a new manager. I said, okay, who we got? Oh, the broadcaster. I said, I said, we're not trying. We're not trying. Yeah. He was a great man. I loved him, but we struggled. So I've had Yogi Berra was a manager of mine in New York. Wow. I could name there 19 at least different managers.
Wow.
And Billy Martin, he liked me. He liked guys like Ricky Henderson, guys you don't have to babysit or tell them how to play. You just write your name in the lineup and boom, you get it done. But if you were a dog, Billy Martin had a big dog house. You weren't going to play a lick. He was something else. And you had to be careful because truth be told, every once in a while, you say, why did the manager come in? His arm is in a sling. He got sunglasses on. Oh, he got in a fight last night. What?
He was in a bar fight.
Oh, man.
He got hit by a pitch in the cage.
Yeah. I saw everything in my career. I saw everything.
Oh, my God. Baerga, I got something before we keep going for the Yankees, the Twins, and all that you did. I mean, for all the fans that are out there, this is the guy that pretty much helped Nolan Ryan in his fight with Robin Ventura. This is the guy, people, okay? Because after this guy did this, Nolan Ryan said, from now on, every time a hitter comes to me, I'll be ready. Because
get off me.
Look at that punch.
Hey, it is funny because the true story on that we're playing in Houston, and Nolan Ryan was like the sheriff in town, so he could do what he wanted to do. But he brushed me back real hard the first 2 times at bat. And I told the guys, I said, if he does, and it was just looking at me as I was going back to the duck, I make out, popped up, grounded out. He was just looking at me. And so I told the guys, if he does it again, I'm going to get him. And they said, no, you won't. No, you won't. And so I had to fulfill my obligation.
I like the way with one hand, I think the catcher already knew. No, I'm not going.
Yeah, that was Luis Pujols.
Luis Pujols. Yeah, look, Baerga. One hand, and Pujols is like flying. Whoa!
Get off me, umpire! Get off of me.
Look at his body, man.
You know what's funny? You know what's funny? You know what's funny because my children. I'm a nice, gentle. I'm a good dad.
Yeah.
I know it. And I might say, Dad used to, mix it up a little bit every once. Oh no, not you, Dad. I showed them the video. They,
oh my God, my friend, you were talking about Ciro Gaston, but tell me about that 1992 World Series in there. Talk to me about to win in there. You guys beat the Atlanta Braves. You have this at bat. Talk to us about this at bat right here.
I'm just thinking of putting the ball in play. He had 2 pitches. It's either going to be a fastball in or a changeup away. And so I had to pick, and then he went with the changeup. I got the extension, pulled it down the line. And when I saw it go past the third baseman, I knew Robbie Alomar and Devon White, both very, very fast, they were going to score. So when I tell you, other than a person hitting a home run and come in and everybody congratulate you at home plate. There's nothing better to be in the visitor's ballpark, standing on second base, drove in what were the winning runs, and you silence the entire ballpark.
Oh my God!
You silence 50,000 people. They go,
yeah,
what happened? And you stand there like, yeah.
I did it.
Yeah.
I mean, and you doing it at an old age. So when I saw you, I remember that was it. I was in college watching the whole thing, and I remember telling everybody was like, I mean, they're playing the National League. Why? I mean, he doesn't have to play Dave Winfield. He doesn't have to bring it or nothing. I mean, just leave him there as a DH whenever. And I always say, you know, I mean, I don't know, man. When you're a veteran like that, those are the guys that could come through for you. I mean, so I'm guessing Gaston was like, if I'm gonna lose here or if it's not gonna work out, it's gonna be with a veteran guy trying to do it.
That year, he hit 26 RBI,
26
RBIs, 26 homer, 290. Hit 290, 40 years old. Again, 290, 40 years old.
108 RBIs.
Huh?
108
RBIs. That's what I say. That's
how many games? How many games?
156. 156.
Right there. Right there.
You see, if Winfield would be playing today in this game, he probably would have a hamstring, an oblique strain or something, and he would have played.
Talk to us about that, Winfield.
Okay, I will come to that. I got to tell you one story that people don't know about that series. And Candy Maldonado and I would talk about it a lot.
Yeah.
The game before, we had men on first and second and nobody out, and I'm up. Through my entire career, I always knew how to bunt. And it was, do I go try to be a hero or do I advance the man? And you can score, I think, 9 times more from third base than second. And this is the World Series. And so I didn't get the signal, but I laid down a sacrifice bunt, men of second and third, Candy Maldonado up next, easy sacrifice fly. We win the game. I was so happy. I called one of my coaches because they taught us how to play the entire game when I was young. I said, how you like that bunt? He said, man, that was fantastic. That's incredible. So that is something that I did on my own. And next time you speak to him, you ask him about that. But it was about how do we win this game, not try to be the hero.
Yeah.
How about that? But physical fitness, other than that, staying in shape, avoiding a lot of injuries. I would run, stretch, and my exercises were to be strong but limber, loose. You know, it wasn't just to look good in the lobby. Or at the beach, you know what I mean?
You know, when you see what's going on right now in the buildings, the other day, May 10 or May 9, I can't remember the day, they put on MLB Network the numbers of players hurt at that time. 2019 was 117, 2021, 315. Players. And every day it's like coming down like crazy. I never see anything like this before. What do you think about this, Dave?
Everybody that works on the fitness, you know, they become the guru. I got the next thing. They push the envelope on every part of your body. They say your shoulder complex could be perfectly shaped, but they got pitchers trying to throw maximum velocity for every pitch. That's not really pitching.
No.
So that's why you look at how many have Tommy John surgery. I played with Tommy John. But they, you know, so when you're trying to every pitch throw maximum velocity, that's not really pitching. So they get hurt more. And then the players, they never really take any time off in the off season. They say, if I'm not working out, I'm falling behind. If you don't rest your body and your mind in the off season, it's going to come crashing down on you. So I would take a month off, I might work out, I might shoot some baskets, I might, run on the beach, something like that. But I wasn't going to play baseball 365 days a year. It's not good for you physically or mentally. And some guys just never take a break. I got to be perfect. It's not
Dave,
baseball.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, Dave, what I keep seeing, I mean, because with all the social media and all that, most of these guys they put their videos up, and you know how the agents put all this stuff so people could see them too. And when you look at it, I always tell Carlos, it's like they're getting ready to be the next champion of the CrossFit gym. I mean, it's like they're pushing a big round tire truck. They're pushing a truck with something. I'm like, I mean, what happened to go to the field, work on your craft, get grumbles, lawn toss, do all these plays. You could go to a gym and just like you say, stay agile, do some stretching. I mean, but it just looks so bad right now with all these guys that really, I mean, I think they could go CrossFit and win a championship, but they cannot last 162 games, and we're seeing it. And Dave, you hit it in the nail by saying you can't be a ball player 365 days of a year. I work here with a baseball academy. We got 18 teams from 7-year-old to all the way to 16 here in Massachusetts. And I always tell the parents, let him play football. Let him play high school soccer, whatever. Do something else because you cannot play baseball all year round.
Yeah. No, you're physically going to get worn out or mentally going to.
Yes.
There's only so many bullets in that gun, so to speak, in the arm, and off season, when the season was over, whether we won or lost, you might catch me on a cruise somewhere. The guys would always ask me, "Where'd you go this off season?" I said, "I was in Africa on safari. I was in Europe. I went to China or Japan, or you know what I mean?"
Yes.
No baseball bat. No baseball bat.
No, you have to clear your mind and recover. And I had double recovery I needed after playing for George Steinbrenner in New York. I didn't want to hear nothing.
Oh my God. Dave, we got the opportunity to play together with the Cleveland Indians. I know that you got hurt of that year, your rotator cuff. But you can say something about that team, that special team that we have in there.
Oh man, it was one of my either favorite or second favorite team, because when we won it all in Toronto, you take with you. But that team we had with the Indians, we were all like brothers, man. We had a good time. We could play. Yes. Guys could hit. We were a little short on pitching and a little short on managing.
Yes, yeah.
But I mean, I look back. Yeah, it hurt me to not be able to contribute. I tore my rotator
cuff. Yeah.
And I tried to hang around and do what I could, but it was an incredible team. That's really two reasons after the strike. Or the lock, the strike in 94 and 95. If there wasn't a strike, I may not have come back to play.
Yeah.
But when we came back to play, and I'm going to be in Cleveland, I said they got Carlos, they got Eddie Murray, they got Dennis Martinez,
Albert Bell.
Albert Bell, Kenny Lofton. No, who was?
Manny Ramirez. He told me.
Oh, Manny. we had incredible talent.
Yes.
Incredible talent. And we came up short. We didn't win the World Series, but that would have been the icing on the cake, the perfect ending of my career.
Yes.
But I'm glad that I played with you guys, because we're all brothers, man. I will always remember.
Yeah.
Hey, Baerga, and I'm glad that Winfield and Murray signed with you guys to play that year, because Santiago was able to play in the 8th inning, 9th inning when you guys left. I mean, Santiago, just go play the outfield, go play first base, and it was thanks to Dave Winfield, Eddie Murray. I mean, I was like number 95 with no last name on the back, stay in the corner, and then until Buddy Bell goes, "Hey, go. Now you could go." So it was great that you were there and Eddie Murray, because I mean, as soon as the game is over, I'm calling everybody, hey, I just play for Eddie Muir. I just play for Ted Winfield, my man. Oh, don't worry about it, what I did, but I enjoy it. It was nice. So that was great. That was great. I mean, hitting 3,000 hits. I mean, I know that it's a big mark, of course, in baseball, but the way you did it, because a lot of people forget, you from Minnesota, and you get the chance to go to Minnesota and do it there. How special was that?
It was very, very special. You know, I've been making my way along toward 3,000 hits. I remember a year or two before, people never thought that I would reach it because, again, I'm a big guy. And they said, who do you think's going to get 3,000? They never thought about me. So I remember I was making my way, and then Kirby Puckett told me, he rest his soul. He said, Winnie, when you get your 3,000 hit, you're going to chop one off a home plate 10 stories high, and you're going to have to run like a son of a gun. I said, no way, no way. I said, I won't even run if I do it that way. So Dennis Eckersley was pitching. How about this? And he wanted to win the game. And all the guys said, when you get 3,000, we're going to come out and hug you and tackle you. But they were scared because I got 3,000 hit, and Dennis Eckersley wasn't having it. He wasn't smiling. So the guys got to the dugout. They went, no, we'll stay right here. But that was the clubhouse. So I told you guys left me hanging, man.
Wow. hey, Winnie, you know, I know that, you know, to finish it up, getting to the Hall of Fame, you know, you look back to your career, how everything started when you was just a pitcher, and then you signed and became an outfielder. Did you ever thought that you was going to be in the Hall of Fame?
No, I never thought about it. I never dreamed. I never said I'm going to go to the Hall of Fame. I just knew I wanted to be a player that maximized my time in the major leagues and my ability. I wanted to reach my ability. I wanted to be good every year that I played. And then one year went to 2, went to 4, went to the second team, the third team, the fourth team, the fifth team, the 6th team. That game right there, when I was comeback player of the year after being injured, missed a year, played. Oh, no, let me see if I'm with the Twins there. Or the Angels. I'm with the Angels.
Yeah, with the Dave Parker is there.
Big day. And honest to God, I was comeback player of the year. Yankees gave up on me, wanted me out of there. And, you know, I said, man, I still got a lot left to play. And that game that you saw, I got 5 hits.
Wow.
3 home runs. You know, I was only 38. Wow. I was only 38 years old.
Wow.
Yeah,
I was great.
Hey, and by the way, I want you guys to know, the ones that are watching this, I mean, we're getting right to the end, but I want you guys to know, we got Fernando Tatis now doing the bat flip. Yes. We're doing all this stuff. But this man here was one of those first ones too. That, I mean, look the way he just stand there like, you know, buddy, I got you.
That's a line drive, boy.
I mean, but I mean, after you punch Nolan Ryan, who wants to deal with you? So it's okay.
That's respect.
Fellas, I had a great time. I lived my boyhood dream to be a Major League Baseball player. Wouldn't trade it for anything. I don't regret I didn't play football or basketball. I wanted to play baseball. Did all I could. Made a lot of friends. I looked at it. I played with and against something like 800 plus guys.
Yes.
So I know people from all around. And I'll just say this: rest their soul. Last year was a bad year, not only with COVID, but a lot of guys I played with and against passed away.
Yes.
There were about 20 guys.
Wow.
That's a lot.
Yes.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
Yes.
My friends from all over the world, the guys I played with. So, but anyway, I lived my boyhood dream, play baseball.
Wow. Winnie, we give you thanks for the opportunity to interview today. It was awesome. It was very nice. You know, I really admire you, when you play. Admire you when you play with me. You was a great teammate. I learn from you every day because this guy always sit down and talk to us in the plane, in the bench, in the clubhouse. And you always need a veteran player because he goes through everything in life. So you always learn something new every day. And when he talked about at the beginning, you remember that he learned how to, you know, make a judgment about hitting and stuff like that from somebody. You always need somebody. You know, there's players now, they think they know everything. They know everything. So you know what? Thank you for everything that you did for me, for my career. And I want to say God bless to you and your family.
God bless you guys, man. Thank you. Keep up the good work. I'll see you.
Nice having you, my man. Bueno, señores, ahí teníamos a una de las leyendas del béisbol de las Grandes Ligas, Dave Winfield. Baerga, yo le tenía miedo a Winfield y a Murray. Yo no me atrevía ni a hablarle en Spring Training. Yo te hablaba a ti, a Santita, a todo el mundo, pero a esos dos manos nunca le hablé y yo entraba por ellos a jugar, pero ni me atrevía ni decir nada, porque eran unas figuras que mano, ellos te miraban y durante el juego era difícil verlos reírse, ¿sabes?
No, esos tipos,
cuando el juego estaba
serio todo el tiempo. El juego empezaba, el clojado era una cosa, pero empezaba el juego, era todo business y esos tipos iban, ¿sabes? Ready para batear, estaban concentrados en el juego y de verdad
y va a venir Palillito a jorobarme la pista en la séptima entrada, en la quinta, a preguntarme una estupidez aquí. No, ya te quedó callado.
Oiga, para que la gente sepa, este hombre es Hall of Fame en béisbol y en college, para que sepan lo que hizo en college. Los que entraron ahora, para que sepan, era pitcher. Los